Ideas, inspiration, innovation. This is The Game Changer. And now here's your host, Chicke Fitzgerald.
Good afternoon. This is Chicke Fitzgerald, and we have a really special program today, and it's a little bit off of the cuff because, as you know, I normally interview authors, and we are normally talking about a book and just going very methodically through the book. But I met someone a couple of weeks ago, and my life has not been the same since we met, and it was just meeting over a Zoom call. And I don't even remember who introduced us at this particular moment. I'm sure he can tell you.
Taylor Cole.
Who was it?
Taylor Cole.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So anyway, this amazing connection came out of me just kind of listening to this voice when I was looking through my LinkedIn and seeing somebody that I hadn't seen for a while, and I reached out to her, and of course, I didn't realize the depth of her faith. And as soon as she started talking about that, the name of Charles Crouch came up. And so we very quickly set up a call. And like I said, my life has not been the same since. So Charles, tell us a little bit about you and your backstory, because I want our listeners, before we dive into what we agreed to talk about today, I want them to understand where you're coming from and why God brought us together.
Well, that is very, very courteous of you to say. It makes my head big, and my wife is going to have trouble because when I get home, my head won't fit through the doors. She says, don't say that stuff to him. Anyways, so I run Truth at Work executive roundtable discussion groups in Dallas, Texas area for people who follow Christ with their businesses. And so we come together once a month. They're business groups, people who have like the same moral values when it comes to business. We come together and we want to be top notch in business. And so that's what I do. A lot of times you can't separate your moral decisions from your business decisions. They're one and the same. A lot of time religious people don't understand you because they think you're doing evil business practices. And a lot of times business people don't understand you because you're not following the low-hanging fruit, the data, the good practices to do good business. So we bring those people together. And what I've noticed is when you bring people together who share the same faith and the same business zeal, it's electric. It's fun, lots of fun. We have tough conversations in there, but at the end of the day, those are good because they require our brains, our neurological pathways that we've built up through our lifetimes, and we have to unplug them and replug them in differently. That's hard. Not a lot of people can do that, but it's good, and that's what God wants in the end.
Right. Well, we were having a really interesting conversation before we started recording this officially. And, I'm going to be asking this actually a couple of different places. One is on a new community that I formed called Live Free. Yeah. But the conversation that we were having is about going headlong into a torpedo. And we were talking about the movie Hunt for Red October, which I've only seen 20 or 30 times. So I do know the precise moment of discussion. But the context of this discussion was when Charles and I were talking, we started out talking about my core tech company, which is called Solutions. And we've built some pretty incredible technology, patent pending. We're going to actually show the technology to you in this new venture that I'm involved in. But at the time that we had that call, Charles, I had been going back and forth about whether to include this new role on my LinkedIn profile, right? I've got 9,000 subscribers, and because I'm in the travel industry, and Taylor, we met through the travel industry, it's full of a lot of people who believe in God, but they don't follow him, right? They don't have their faith as a core tenet in their life, right? And I had just posted I think this was before you and I talked, I had posted a poll, right, about do you keep your faith and your business separate? Yeah. And it was very interesting. And after you actually published that out to your network, balance changed, right? That was really interesting because originally most everyone was saying, no, you keep church and state separate, and you I don't talk about my faith because it's not important to me. And then the balance shifted because you brought in your whole network, right? But at the end of the day, I still on that day, I had not said that I was the CEO of MyPatriotMarketplace. Because of the sensitivity of the word patriot, and that some people have misconstrued that word. But after talking to you, an amazing thing happened. I went ahead and posted that I am the CEO of that venture. And I've always been very, very open about my faith, very forward with my faith, if you will. But I changed the little tagline on my LinkedIn to actually put faith in that tagline, and I changed the title, and everything changed. So talk about the full speed into the torpedo, because I think that is such a great visual picture of how we should be living our lives.
You know what? I think your success is only going to come from you being you, and you letting your heart spill all over the table is what God put in you to flow out of you. And so that's where the power comes from. And, if you are like just agnostic, you would just say, oh, the universe is responding. No, it's God. And
my universe has a name is what I always say, Charles.
Yeah. So the movie with the Red October, the submarine is here and the torpedo's here, and they shot the torpedo at the submarine. And then when it gets here, it's armed and will blow up. Well, this guy goes, oh, what's his name? The Russian captain?
Ramius.
Yeah, he goes faster into the torpedo so it can't disarm, doesn't blow up in it. It goes ping off the side of the submarine and doesn't explode. And everyone's like in awe that he just went into the submarine, but it's effective. So I like to use another analogy too, because what you got to do is you got to go headfirst into the enemy to thwart off the plan he has in his time for you. So I think what you did is I'm a water guy. My history in the SEAL teams is water. I love the water. I love the ocean. I understand it. It understands me. Anyways, I love the water. So if you will, imagine yourself sitting at the seashore, and every wave that comes in, you try to stop the wave. The waves are coming in, and you try to keep those waves from reaching the shore, every single wave. Well, I would say every wave would be like a natural impulse that comes out of you, me, anybody that God gives you. It's you being you and letting yourself out. By trying to filter your thoughts and filter your mannerisms and body language and attitude and tone and all these different things through what you perceive other people want to see, is like you trying to stop all these waves coming in. Can't do it.
Right.
So what I tell
you can try, but it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And
what
futile.
I tell people is like, you got to have the ability to jump up on the boardroom table in the middle of the meeting and yell at everybody, dance. You just got to let yourself out and not be scared of that.
Right.
You got to be willing to do that just to live your life how you want to live it. And I think that's where the universe, God honors it. God put that in you for a reason, to shift the culture of the human race in the direction he wants it to go right now. And Chicke, what you're doing is super amazing, because I believe in what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
I'm one of these guys who had get my information through different sources that aren't normal sources. It's not the news.
Right.
Spoiler alert, I don't listen to the news, but what I'll do is I find myself on different social media platforms, and I look for my own information, and then if it's true, like I'll go to websites myself and research myself.
Right. And again, you're not alone. There are a lot of people doing that. And by the way, you end up wasting a lot of time, because like last week, you may have, somebody may have told you to go listen to Jaron Jackson and that he was on Facebook or he was on YouTube. Well, guess what? This week he's not. He's over on Rumble, right? Because he got shut down on YouTube, or he decided to leave Facebook, right? Yeah. And so without further ado, why don't I share my screen?
So on your website, where you go to MyPatriotMarketplace, what's the tab for
Favorite voices?
favorite voices? Yeah, right in the middle up there, and scroll down. That's great. So what you have done has made the change that God wants in this earth, the Patriot voices, the response to censorship, digestible for people. And I love it. I love it. Anybody who sees a void in the marketplace and fills it, money will follow them. The problem solver who solves the problem, the money will follow them. What you're doing is filling a void and you're solving a problem. All these different people. So you have all these different people. You go to your website, My Patriot Marketplace, and click on favorite voices. Man, you can just click on any of them. Like I'm going to click on Candace. I love Candace. I think Candace Owen is the modern day Harriet Tubman. And she is running the Underground Railroad and delivering people out of this victim mindset.
Right, right.
Who's another one that I like? You know, I haven't seen in a while is Ben Stein. I'm going to click on Ben Stein. So, yeah, all his stuff comes up. And you've integrated it into, oh, look at that. He's got a lot of different Zoom calls posted. So
right. He's got a ton. And the beautiful thing, we haven't done it for all of these yet, but we can actually deep link into any place where his content lives. And so we built a new capability, and
Andy Stanley.
Yeah. In fact, Andy Stanley has some really, really interesting stuff that I really started paying attention to it after our call, because it's about integrity and about living, who you really are. But I wanted to show you what we're going to be doing for the people on that list are actually what we call our curated content, which means we went through and we said, who do we want to listen to? And then we built our community, the Live Free community, and we said, who do you listen to? And then we vet those, right? Because we don't just put up any voice. Somebody gave me something the other day and there were like 5 F-bombs in the first minute. And it's like, no, we really do have to be able to listen to things and have our kids in the room, right? But what we're doing now is we're the second level of cooperation that we can have with somebody who has an audience and is in multiple places, because they all are, right? So here we've got the personal website of Chad. We've got his Living a Better Story. He's got an app that he just built called 77 Pray. His core business is a way to scale companies. His YouTube channel, his podcast, and if you want to follow him, LinkedIn, Twitter, and his blog. And so this is the next level of commitment that we get from those individuals. And then we can link over into all of their places, right?
Yeah. So what I like about this is it's for the people who there's all these voices that were coming into play. Facebook and Instagram and a lot of these different YouTube people get shut down. I think the magic number was 267,000. Once you got to that number, you got on the radar, and if they didn't like your voice, they would shut you down. But could I talk about the other things that you do?
Absolutely.
We talked on the phone about I had met Mike Lindell. By the way, one of the things I was talking with Mike Lindell was I said, hey, Mike, listen, I am an ex-Navy SEAL. I've learned how to fight, but the current day fight, I don't know how to fight. I said, my skills are inapplicable. And he says, we got to wake people up. And I said, how do I do that? Like, what? I feel useless. And so he's doing things like, he's like got a competitor to Amazon, right? But so do a lot of other people.
Right.
I'm like, these people are competing against each other for this new void in the market, but you brought them together. So what is the tab for your?
It's the Shop Red, White, and Blue. We've got 800 different stores in more than 70 categories. Yeah. That is more than the Mall of America. It is more categories than Amazon has. You can shop for virtually anything. I mean, you can come in and buy new appliances for your kitchen.
Yeah. Right. So what I was doing is I was using the Amazon app and I was going to it and finding something that I liked. And then in the details, I was looking at the manufacturer, going to the manufacturer's website, finding that product and ordering it. And because I didn't want to spend my money with a company that's trying to censor me.
Right.
So this is great. I love this. What you've done is solving a problem. But you've done this with all the different things. I think you're really channeling a God idea. Your resources, you have legal resources, employment resources, medical resources, and you funnel them all for people to easily access.
And we're adding a new one, actually 2 new things this next week. One is education resources for people who are tired of public school and the influence on their kids. We're partnering with Sam Sorbo, who has her own TV show that's on Epic Times and does a podcast. And of course, her husband is Kevin Sorbo. And so we're asking his help in identifying who are the other people in Hollywood. So in the favorite voices, one of our categories are celebrities, right? Who are the influencers that are out there who are really talking about a biblical worldview when they're looking at what's going on in this country, right?
This is so great. This is a total God idea. I want to thank you, Chicke, for putting this together with your entrepreneur energy and putting work into this. And what I miss about your website so far?
Well, again, some of these things are new since we talked last. We added a holiday market where we can showcase just those things for the upcoming holidays. Our events function is brand new, where if you are again, someone with a Christian worldview that wants to learn about what's going on, different book tours, different, get-togethers, you can go into that event, learn about that, looking on it. And then this is actually the core product of my tech company, which is I want to go to this event. It knows that it's at the University of Alabama. It knows the date of the event and allows you with a single click to find the hotels nearby that event.
Wow.
And so Traveling to Give, we give back money to the charity of choice of the event if the event will partner with us. If the event isn't partnered with us, we choose a charity that we care about and we give money directly to that charity. And we have a special place in our heart for veteran charities. We give 50% of our revenue to the veteran-based charities and anyone who is saving lives from human slavery. So those are our 2 special causes we care about. But we're going to be adding another aspect to our travel page, which right now, our Click Travel Give program, we can actually help charities raise money by using our tool with their donors. And so this is going to be transitioning to a page that has all different charities, and whatever charity you want to benefit whenever you travel to anywhere for any reason, we'll have that right on our site so that you can just go straight there, just like you do with our voices. You already mentioned resources. We've got
I don't want to skip over that. You skip over that so quickly. I'm flying to Florida to the Keys for Christmas this year, and I was just looking at flights last night. I did not know I could travel through your website.
Absolutely. In fact, let's say that you're going to visit a friend who is in Mayo Clinic, right? And you're going to sit by their side while they're getting treatment, and they're in the Phoenix Mayo Clinic. You simply put that in. You put your dates where you're going to travel. So if you were leaving, right away, you could put tomorrow's date, find a hotel nearby. And now it is finding a hotel nearby Mayo Clinic in Phoenix. So if you're going to visit a friend in the Keys and you don't want to stay with them, maybe their house is too small, or, they're sensitive about COVID, whatever it is, you can put in somebody's address and find a hotel nearby a specific address. So this is our fundamental technology, which is called trip proximity. It's all about finding a hotel nearby where you're really going. And that's not how the travel industry works. They find hotels nearby city centers and airports. And I live in Tampa. It's 174 square miles, Charles. You don't just need a hotel in Tampa. You need a hotel in Carrollwood, near where I live.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I didn't mean to pass over that because it's obviously near and dear to my heart, because again, that's the core technology that we've built. We haven't really built out the services sector of this, but this is something that's going to be expanding, where we can showcase people who have like mind, like heart, and, you know, as you said, that our values really resonate with them. And then we will put their services on here. So this can become a service marketplace for any industry. We could have real estate people, you know, consultants, financial advisors, tech solutions, et cetera. That can grow and grow and grow. And then I jumped over the get work. We certainly have a lot of people who are out of work by choice, right?
Yeah, I was just praying with a guy whose job is up on December 8th. He said he's got a great job. He's been in it for 20 years and he's making 10 times more money right now than his dad made ever. And he goes, he's supporting his family. And he says, if I lose this job, but he's saying, I'm not taking the shot.
Right.
So I prayed with him. I said, hold strong. And I didn't really know where to refer him to, but would he be able to look up a new job on your website?
He would. I will tell you that we've partnered with a veteran who is building out Jobs Not Jabs. What we really need to do to help him out is to get employers to list their jobs. It's a marketplace, right? You have to have jobs being listed, people coming in and applying for jobs, and marrying talent to jobs. So we need employers who will come in and post their jobs. And again, because Jobs Not Jabs is focused on companies that are not conforming to the mandate, right? Who are not forcing people to take the vaccination. That really is the focus of this solution. Now, I'm trying to help him to think more broadly. After that problem has been resolved, his company name may not be, you know, quite the right name for moving forward, because it's really just all about freedom, Charles. Today, it's about the vaccine. Tomorrow, it might be, we'll only hire you if you only have 2 kids. You know, I mean, you just don't know what the mandates are going to be in the future. So this is really about living free, employee, you know, having jobs that allow you to be free. So uniting freedom-loving employers and employees is what we are helping him to do. So what would really help us now is if you're a company that is willing to post your jobs, and again, you don't require the vaccination, that's where we have a real need. The candidates will come because there's so much need on the candidate side.
Well said.
Okay. And then really the last thing, and I think this is the most important, is the community. We have created a community. Again, this is a combination of people who are consumers of all of these things that we've talked about and people who are providers, whether it's product providers, resource providers, service providers, or favorite voices. We want them in community because they don't have to just come and comment on something on our website, right? Comments go out and rarely ever is there dialogue. We want to bring people into relationship. And so the community is a place where you can go and be with like-minded people and have direct access to our team. So, hey, I'd like for you to add this pastor to the favorite voices. One of us will go listen to that voice. And maybe on the same day, now they'll be listed. And so now your TV guide is your TV guide, right? Of who can you go listen to if you've got, you know, a spare hour, right? And that's what we want to be. We want to be a resource. We want to be the new TV guide. Now I'm dating myself because TV guide hasn't existed for a while, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm just really in awe of what you've done. Jobs Not Jabs. You are responding to every void and need in the marketplace in so many different spectrums. How much sleep do you get a night?
Well, I need more than what I'm getting, but yeah, I try to do 6, maybe 8 if I'm really, really lucky. But let us who have ever built anything like this, I want to share something with you. And I didn't realize it until I went back and looked at the dates. Well, the team actually got together back in April, and this is a team literally of 5 people, okay? And people who didn't have necessarily the background and experience, they just had the passion around creating an Amazon alternative, right? We did a lot of research over the summertime, you know, curated what we believed to be the right people to list on the site. but we started building this, Charles, on October 4th.
What?
October 4th, because we use the tools from Solutions, right? My tech company, to build out all these directories and all these links. We were able to build it that fast. 800 stores, over 100 voices. I don't know how many events we have now, but certainly we intend to have events coming from all over. We want people to publish those events to us and to partner with us. This event company I talked to this morning, we're going to make their technology available. I talked to another company yesterday that can take in any video content and make it completely searchable. And that's a company that's based in Dallas. And again, they're like-minded with us. And so I want to talk just a minute before we wrap up. So you and I talked the very first time we talked about how God packs our bag, right? With exactly what he knows we're going to need for where he wants us to go, right? A lot of people never even open that suitcase to see what's inside. Maybe they're afraid to, right? Or they don't think they have the right to open it up. But if you open that suitcase up, and let's just think about regular travel that we talked about. If you were going to the Key, you opened up that suitcase and there were ski boots and gloves, and it's like, oh, I might be in the wrong place, right? So where does God want me to be? I look back at everything that I did brought me to this place where now, again, on my LinkedIn page, I changed what I said about myself to, I'm a builder of communities. I'm a builder of marketplaces, because that's what I did when I was with American Airlines Sabre, right? I married buyers and sellers, did the same thing with WorldSpan, which was the foundational technology to Expedia, Priceline, and Orbitz. And I also spent the majority of my career as a consultant in mergers and acquisitions, right? So I learned how to work with the investment community. And so what we need right now, both for this and for the underlying technology company, is we need people who just can't imagine not being a part of this. Yeah. I want passionate. I don't just want money, right? Money is literally available everywhere. I want people who are passionate about what we're trying to do, who share our values and our faith. And, that to me is the most important part of it. So when you look at the About Us on this particular site, trusting in God, believing in the Constitution, loving our country, and having a heart for giving back, that's at the bottom of everything that I do.
Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because you just got an awesome product here, a problem solver, bringing people together, offering solutions for people. You know what? As a brother in the Lord to you, I'm just going to say good job, and I'm proud of you.
Well, that means an awful lot coming from you. It has just been, like I said, it's been an incredible ride since I started this whole venture. And, I started the travel technology piece almost a decade ago when my niece had a really serious accident. She was airlifted to Montana, and none of us lived there. And because I'm the one in the travel industry, my sisters said, you find a hotel room and we'll all get there. And, it was after that trip that I came home and said to my husband, I've got to fix this, right? So I've been a prop for a long time, which is why my company is called Solutions, right? Because that's what God gifted me to do, is to see the problem and the solution in the same frame. And it's why I'm able to solve things, pretty quickly. But I tell you, it means so much to me, Charles, that you have invested this time in helping out here. And I just can't wait to see what God has for both of us.
Yeah. I'm going to share this everywhere I can. And thanks again. Oh, I'm also trying to get a book out and publish a book by the holidays. And I don't think it's going to happen. So I know who to go to now.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, I am like an editor extraordinaire. I have just recently helped a couple of people put out their books. So if you need help, I am yours.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I think in the new year we'll have it. So,
well, what I do know is it will arrive exactly on time to exactly the right audience. And one of the things I do in my primary radio show, which is The Game Changer, is I interview authors. So of course, I'm going to have you back on when you are a bona fide author, and we'll talk about your new book.
All right. Well, Chicke, good talking to you today. As always, Godspeed, God bless. Thanks for your time.
All right. Perfect.
You've been listening to The Game Changer. Ideas, inspiration, innovation with Chicke Fitzgerald.